Today we are talking about overthinking. This is something that I think can be so detrimental to your business. It is something I do not do, and I really believe that because I don't overthink, that is one of the main reasons why I was able to succeed as a real estate agent when I probably shouldn't have. And what I mean by that is when I was a brand new real estate agent, I was probably one of the least qualified people in the entire market in our area to list a single property. We'll leave it at that. However, I was able to still succeed in my real estate career. And one of the biggest reasons why I truly do believe is because of not overthinking. One of the things that I hear oftentimes, there could be so many different scenarios or situations, and the common theme is overthinking. So I really truly believe that overthinking can kill your business before it even gets going or after it gets going. I have a handful of scenarios on, situations where as a real estate agent, you might be overthinking in. And then at the end, I'm going to share a handful of tips for you guys to just get out of your head. And the very last tip is, in my opinion, the most powerful one. So be sure to stay tuned until the end. You're not going to want to miss anything. Before we get into it, if you are new here, welcome. My name's Mariah, and we come on here every single week with new videos. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. This podcast is also now on Spotify, so go to Spotify, subscribe over there as well. If you are a real estate agent outside of the state of Oregon and you have a client relocating to Oregon, send them my way. I'd love to give you a referral fee. So first off, what is overthinking? So in this situation, I think it could mean a lot of things, but in the context that we're going to be talking about it today, basically this is just when you don't take action on something in your business, or you keep pushing something off, like something you should do for your business. You keep pushing it off because you're going back and forth in your mind on, is this a good idea? Is it not a good idea? You're overthinking it, or maybe what people might think. There's a lot of different scenario. When I was a new real estate agent, I started my business by calling for sell by owners. I knew I needed to make this work. I was 18. I didn't know anything, literally didn't know what a mortgage was. I'm telling you, I had to, which by the way, they really should be teaching that in school, but for some reason they're not. I really, like I said, I wasn't qualified. So I started calling for sell by owners, and I wasn't seeing any luck, wasn't getting any listings yet. I was only about a month in. I remember one day specifically, I was sitting in the parking lot. I had a list of for sale by owners, a good old fashioned piece of paper with their numbers and their addresses on it. So I was like, okay, I'm going to drive to one of their addresses. I just said out loud, I was like, God, show me which one to go to. And then the first one that popped into my mind, boom, I drove to that for sale by owner, knocked on their door. Somehow this lady had just met one of my family members, super randomly, just the week before, and ended up talking to her. She said, we'll never list, whatever, wasn't going to list with me. And I ended up following up a bunch and then eventually got the listing. But the whole point in saying that is I had the opportunity to sit there and just be paralyzed, overthink, be I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. But instead, just went with the first thing that came to my mind, boom, that's the one, and just trust your gut, I guess you could say. And there's so many situations in real estate where we face that could apply to. I feel like when you're a brand new real estate agent, you have so much time on your hands because all of a sudden, this is, unless you're working another job while you're being a real estate agent, all of a sudden, this is your job, but you don't have any clients to work with yet. What do I do with my time? What's the best way to spend my time as a new real estate agent? So not overthinking that, go with what seems like the best option for you right now, and then stick with that decision. So the second way that you could overthink as a real estate agent is researching online leads before calling them. I don't know. This could be, say you're paying for Facebook leads or Facebook ads, researching the person. No. Don't overthink it. Just make the calls. You're wasting so much time. It really doesn't matter. It's really not going to change how the conversation goes. And I feel from my experience, just not knowing anything and just going into that conversation is gonna probably help you to not overthink and make things go so much smoother. The next way that you could potentially overthink as a real estate agent is creating video content. This is a big one. I think that a lot of agents probably want to use video for their business because they know that it is the best way to get clients in 2023 going on 2024. And I truly feel that 100%. However, they overthink it. They want it to be perfect before they put it out there. Well, I can say for sure, I have never put out a video that's perfect or even close to perfect. And I've made a lot of money from putting out videos, from video marketing, and I've made a lot of money from video marketing and putting out videos. So you do not need perfection. I think actually the opposite is true nowadays. I think consumers, like everyone is so over the whole perfect aesthetic feeds and videos and all of that. Like people want real and raw. That does really, really well. And it is so much better to just start and improve as you go than waiting until you have everything perfect. So my first tip for getting over this overthinking sickness that you might have, asking yourself, what do I want more? Do I want people to not ever say anything negative about me ever? Or do I want the money I could make from doing whatever, it is I'm going to be doing, and the lives I could impact from doing it as well? So that could look like, do I want people to never criticize me or make fun of me because I'm making this video and putting it out there online and putting myself out there? Or do I want the money that could come from doing that, as well as touching the lives that you could touch from doing that? So just asking yourself, like, what's more important to you? This reminds me of a time when I was a new agent. I was at my parents' house with my cousin, my sister, and my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time. I left the kitchen, went into the office, they shut the door, created a video for my business. This was the very first video I ever made for my real estate business. While I was in there, before I emerged from the office and joined them again in the kitchen, I posted it, I uploaded it, whatever. I don't remember what I did. I don't think I even did any editing. And I posted it on Facebook. So by the time I got back in the kitchen, everybody who was in the kitchen had already seen my video on Facebook, if that makes sense. Get super made fun of because of that video that I made. And everybody, rightly so, like it was so bad. But I got pretty torn apart for it. Like everybody agreed it was terrible and I was embarrassing myself. Like that's literally the feedback that I got from that first video. But now I've sold $1 million homes because of those videos that I didn't stop making. I've also been able to connect with thousands of realtors all over the country in some form or fashion because of those videos. You really have to ask yourself, like I did back then, what is more important to me? Is it never just making sure I don't ever do anything cringy? I never put myself out there and I never, do anything that could potentially get made fun of? Is that what's most important? Or is it your goals that you could reach by putting yourself out there, the money that you could make, the clients that you could help? If I didn't start my YouTube channel, I literally would be out of business right now in this market. I'm really glad that the more important thing was doing what I feel like I should do, regardless of what anybody else thinks. Next thing, which leads me to my next tip for overcoming your overthinking, is ask yourself, will this matter in 50 years from now? This is something I have to ask myself often just to bring perspective. Just ask yourself, like, will this really matter in 50 years from now? My next tip is to get clear on your priorities. Align your daily and weekly actions, the things that you have on your schedule for your business, with your priorities and your goals both, and then you can just forget about everything else. So if you're ever overthinking about what do I do with my time as a real estate agent, a big question to ask is, what is the most important thing I could be doing right now with my time? Or, specifically for your business, it could be, what's the most dollar producing activity I could do right now? And then just do that. Like, we don't have to complicate things. It's really simple. Selling real estate is really simple. I feel like we really, really complicate it. My very last tip for stopping overthinking is just do. taking action is the biggest tip for overthinking. Get into the habit of turning off your thinking and commit to taking action no matter what, good or bad, and just be committed to consistency and improving over time. So just start. Whatever it is that you feel like you need to be doing for your business, but you've just been putting off, just start and be committed to being consistent and improving over time. And yeah, things will work out. And I'm sure everything will work out. Be sure to share this podcast with all of your realtor or your business or mom boss friends, because we do come on here every single week with new videos. Comment below or send me an email with any real estate related questions or video suggestions, and we will see you guys next week.